A doctor is in the middle of what should be a routine operation when he finds something strange buried inside his patient's hip. He slices open the swollen lump and lifts out a small metal object with a pair of tweezers. He has no idea what it is. He rinses it under running water, holds it under a magnifying glass and studies it. Then a tiny red light blinks on at one end. A second later, a string of numbers is projected onto the wall, along with the name of a bank. The doctor goes back to check on his patient, but the bed is empty. Before he can react, a pair of hands grabs him from behind. The patient slams him down and demands to know who he is. The doctor explains fast. A group of sailors found this man floating alone in the middle of the sea. They pulled him out and he never woke up. Later, they found 2 bullet wounds in his back, and by pure luck, neither one hit anything vital. That is the only reason he is still alive. The doctor also mentions the strange device he removed from his body. Before he can finish, the man's body gives out and he collapses. The doctor catches him. When he asks the man for his name, the man realizes he cannot remember it. This is the Bourne identity.
The Bourne identity.
A few days later, he is back on his feet. His body is in incredible shape, but his memory is completely gone. One day, the doctor notices the knots he ties are professional, almost automatic, like he has done them 10,000 times. That only makes the man angrier, because he still has no idea who he is. He spends the next week working alongside the sailors, hauling in nets, waiting for something to come back to him. Nothing does. When the boat finally reaches port, he steps off into a world he does not recognize, with nothing but a set of skills he cannot explain. The only real lead he has is that device from his hip and the numbers it projected. A bank in Zurich. He reaches the city late at night with no money and no plan, so he lies down on a park bench to sleep. 2 police officers wake him up and ask for identification. He has none. They decide he looks suspicious and move in to search him. What happens next shocks him more than it shocks them. He snatches a baton out of one officer's hand and puts both men on the ground in seconds. He stares at his own hands, drops the baton, and runs. The next morning, the moment the bank opens, he walks up to the front desk. The receptionist takes one look at him and assumes he is homeless, so she asks him to write down his account number, expecting him to fail. Instead, he recites dozens of digits from memory without pausing. The staff verify everything, and suddenly he is being escorted upstairs with total respect. A manager brings out his safe deposit box and leaves him alone with it. He opens it. The first thing inside is an American passport, his photo, his face, and a name, Jason Bourne. According to the passport, he lives in Paris. Then he opens the hidden compartment underneath, and everything gets worse. Stacks of cash in different currencies, a handgun, and a pile of passports from countries all over the world. Every single one has his photograph. Not one of them has the same name. Jason takes it all, leaves the gun behind, and heads for the exit. The manager mentions that the box was deposited only 3 weeks ago, and the second Jason steps outside, he can feel eyes on him. He is being followed. Police cars start closing in, so he does the one thing they cannot follow him into. He walks straight into the United States Embassy. Inside, waiting in line, he notices a woman at the next window arguing with a clerk about her visa. At the same moment, embassy security gets an alert. Jason feels it instantly and turns to leave, but a guard calls out and orders him to stop. He raises his hands, people back away. Then he grabs the guard's arm and takes him apart in 3 moves. Backup arrives, sees what just happened, and decides not to get involved. Jason lifts a radio off one of them, drops the weapon, tears an evacuation map off the wall, and disappears into the building. Soldiers flood the embassy and sweep it room by room. The problem is that every order they give is going out over the radio Jason is holding. He listens to them coordinate, moves exactly where they are not, kicks open the rooftop door, throws his bag down, and slips out 1 second before they reach him. Outside in the parking lot, he runs into the same woman from the embassy. Her name is Marie. She is broke, stranded, and desperate. Jason offers her $20,000 for a ride to Paris. She takes it. What he does not expect is that Marie never stops talking. She spends the whole drive telling him about her messy life like they have been friends for years. Jason opens up too. He tells her he has amnesia and that Paris is the only place he might find out who he is. Meanwhile, a CIA team in Virginia is watching all of it. A man named Conklin hacks into the Zurich police surveillance system and tracks Jason's every move. He activates dormant agents already living quietly across Europe and gives them a simple order. Kill Jason. Kill the woman with him. On the road, Jason lays out the passports and tells Marie what is eating him. He does not understand what kind of man hides guns and cash in a bank vault, or why he would sew a bank account number under his own skin. He also admits something stranger. He reads every room he walks into. He knows the exits, the cars outside, the weight of the men around him, all of it without trying. Marie thinks he is just paranoid after being shot. Jason knows it is more than that. They reach Paris the next day and go straight to the address in the passport. The housekeeper greets him by name and lets him in, which seems to confirm this is his apartment. But nothing in it feels like his. He does not remember living there for a single day. He picks up the phone and redials the last number called. It belongs to a hotel. He pretends to be looking for a guest named Jason Bourne, and the hotel tells him no such guest exists, so he pulls out another passport and asks about the name inside it. John Michael Cain. That one gets an immediate hit. The problem is what comes next. John Michael Cain died in a car accident 2 weeks ago, and a friend already collected his belongings. Jason hangs up. He cannot prove that name is connected to him, but a dead man carrying his face is not a coincidence. Marie is still trying to understand what is happening when an assassin comes through the window. Jason knocks the weapon out of his hands on pure instinct, and the two of them tear the apartment apart. The attacker is a professional, but Jason is better. He grabs a pen off the table and ends the fight with it in seconds. He pins the man down and tells Marie to search his bag. What she finds is a kill order. Jason's photo is on it. So is hers. She cannot believe that $20,000 just bought her a death sentence. The assassin drags himself back up. He knows he cannot win, but the job is the job, so he charges anyway. The fight ends with him going out the window. Downstairs, they find the housekeeper dead. The body draws a crowd, and within minutes, the CIA knows the hit failed. Jason tries to cut Marie loose. He hands her his passport and tells her to walk into a police station and explain everything, because they will protect her. He still does not know who is hunting him, but he is certain it is not the local police. Marie refuses. She has known him for 2 days, and she is already in too deep to leave. She cuts her hair short and dyes it dark so she is harder to spot, and that night the two of them stop pretending there is nothing between them. Elsewhere in Paris, a furious man storms into a hospital morgue to look at a body. He is Wambosi, and he wanted to see the corpse of the man who tried to kill him. When he sees the face, he realizes it is not him. The whole scene is being watched by the CIA. Once Conklin learns the decoy did not work, he decides Wambosi has to go. Not long after Wambosi gets home, an assassin who has been waiting in his apartment shoots him in the head.
Oh, we are fighting, but that is
That killing lights a fire back at Langley. Deputy Director Ward confronts Conklin and demands to know if the agency is responsible. Wambosi was an exiled African politician living in Paris. He had been telling anyone who would listen that someone tried to assassinate him on his yacht, that he had proof, and that the CIA was behind it. He threatened to expose everything unless they put him back in power within 6 months. So Ward asked the question directly. Was the Treadstone program ever actually activated? Conklin does not deny it. He ran it from the shadows because Wambosi had become a genuine threat. But the mission failed, the operative vanished, and now the target is dead anyway, and the agency is under a microscope. Conklin does the smart thing for himself. He blames Jason. He claims his asset went off the reservation, disappeared after botching the job, then killed Wambosi on his own to try to make up for it. He promises to have him captured within 24 hours. Jason, meanwhile, is chasing the only threat he has. He digs into the phone records from Cain's hotel stay and finds a call to a yacht company. He goes there the next morning, and the second he steps off the elevator, an employee recognizes him. The manager treats him like a valued client. 3 weeks ago, under the name John Michael Cain, he bought a sailboat there. He also gets the manager to pull up the other customers who bought the same model. Everything points to one conclusion. He is Cain. Then Marie brings him something that breaks that conclusion in half. John Michael Cain's body is lying in a Paris morgue right now, which raises a very ugly question. If Jason is Cain, then who is on that slab? They go to the morgue and Jason pays the attendant to let them in. Cain's body is gone. The attendant's supervisor walks in and starts lecturing them about proper procedure. So Jason plays along, picks up the sign and register, and pretends to fill it out. While he does, he quietly tears out the last few pages. And there it is, Wombosi's name. Wombosi came to this morgue to look at Kane's body. They head straight for Wombosi's apartment and find the entire block sealed off by police. Wombosi has been assassinated. They buy a newspaper, and the story fills in the rest. 3 weeks ago, Wombosi was attacked by an assassin on his yacht 8 miles off the coast of Marseille. The assassin failed and was shot twice in the back before going overboard. Jason finally understands who he is. He is the assassin. He was shot twice in the back. He was pulled out of the sea. He is the man who came to kill Wombosi and failed. Marie cannot process it. Neither of them says a word in the taxi back. Then Jason feels it again. He stops the cab short of the hotel, pulls Marie out, and walks her away without looking back. He is right. The hotel is already crawling with police, and a professional named Zorn has been sent to finish them both. Marie thinks he is being paranoid until Jason smashes the window of a parked police car and hands her a wanted bulletin with both of their faces on it. She breaks down. She does not want to spend one more minute next to a man who kills people for a living. They finally have it out on the street, and Jason makes her a promise. He will take her anywhere she wants to go. He will keep her alive, and after that she will never see him again, because that is the only way she stays safe. Back at Langley, Ward is losing patience. If Jason is not eliminated soon, Treadstone gets investigated, and every dirty operation the program ever ran comes out with it. Conklin responds by putting every one of Marie's relatives under surveillance, which is a problem because Marie and Jason are on their way to her brother's house in the countryside. Marie thinks the place is empty since her brother moved into the city. She lifts a flower pot to look for the spare key, and Jason just forces the door open instead. Inside, he sees lights already on and tells her someone is living there. He wants to leave immediately. Then her brother pulls up. Marie has to explain herself badly, and her brother takes one look at his flaky little sister showing up with a boyfriend and lets them stay. For a few hours, life is almost normal. Jason plays outside with the 2 kids while Marie helps her brother cook. Watching a family that actually works, both of them go quiet. That night, Marie wakes up and finds Jason gone from the floor. She finds him standing in the doorway of the kids' room, watching them sleep. He tells her he is done chasing his past. They have money. They can vanish and start over together. The next morning, the brother makes a huge breakfast, but Jason insists on leaving right away. Then the kids run in. The dog is missing. Jason knows exactly what that means. He tells the brother to take the children into the basement now. Marie picks up the landline and finds the line dead. The assassins are already here. Jason pulls open a drawer, finds a box of ammunition, and takes down the hunting rifle stashed on top of a cabinet. He walks out the front door, circles the house, and fires one round into an oil drum in the yard. The fireball throws a wall of black smoke into the air and blinds the sniper watching from across the field. Jason reloads, works out where the shooter's firing lanes are, and sprints for the tree line. Zorn's first shot misses, but it gives away his position. Zorn strips off his suppressor and relocates into a patch of tall reeds. Jason reaches the woods and goes quiet. Then Jason hears birds. He fires a shot into the air, and a flock scatters into the sky, then suddenly banks away from one specific spot. Zorn knows he has been made. The birds saw him. He draws his pistol and starts to move. In the instant he stands up, Jason sees him. Jason closes the distance fast and fires. The round takes Zorn in the shoulder. Zorn reaches for his pistol anyway and takes a second round through his other shoulder. Bleeding out in the grass, Zorn gives Jason the truth. They are the same thing. Both of them are Treadstone assets, CIA assassins planted across Europe, living normal lives until a phone call turns them into weapons. Before Jason can get anything more, Zorn passes out from blood loss. Everyone packs up and clears out of the house. Jason hands Marie a bag of money and tells her to disappear and build a life somewhere far away. He is not coming with her. He is going to end this himself. He empties Zorn's bag, finds the phone, and calls back the last number in the log. Conklin picks up, expecting a kill confirmation. Jason has no idea who is on the other end, but it is obvious the man knows exactly who he is. So Jason sets a meeting, 5 o'clock that afternoon, on the Pont Neuf in Paris. Come alone, no agents. Conklin arrives right on time and does not honor a word of it. The bridge and every street around it are packed with CIA agents. What Conklin does not know is that Jason is watching all of it from a distance. Jason calls him, tears into him for breaking his word, and while Conklin is busy scanning the crowd, Jason quietly attaches a tracking device to the truck Conklin arrived in. That was the entire point of the meeting. Jason follows the signal to the CIA safe house. He waits until dark. Then every car parked outside starts screaming at once, and the agents on the street run to check it out. In the confusion, Jason climbs a drain pipe to the roof. Conklin knows something is wrong the second he hears the alarms. He pulls his handgun and moves toward the door. He never gets there. Jason comes through and has him on the floor in a second. Jason demands to know everything about Treadstone. Instead, Conklin explodes at him, screaming that Jason betrayed the program, and as he talks, the memory finally comes back. 3 weeks ago, Conklin sent him to kill Wombosi on his yacht, operating under the name John Michael Caine. Jason got aboard. He had the shot. And then he saw Wombosi's children asleep in the cabin beside him. He could not pull the trigger. He aborted the mission, and on his way out, Wombosi shot him twice in the back and put him in the water. That is who he was. That is why the agency wants him erased. Jason tells Conklin that the man he used to be is dead, and if they keep hunting him, they will pay for it. Then he notices Conklin's hand. He has already tripped an alarm, and the assassins are stacking up outside the door. Jason knocks him out cold, kicks the door open, and walks straight into them. He takes a pistol off the first man and drops him with it. He moves into the hallway with 2 guns and takes down another. A wounded assassin drags himself back up, and Jason finishes him in seconds. Then a shooter opens fire from the floor below, so Jason grabs a body, uses it as a shield, and goes over the ledge with it. He lands in front of the shooter, puts a round in his head, and hits the ground hard. He gets back up anyway. Conklin comes to, drags himself outside, and limps into the street. Another assassin steps out in front of him. There is 1 gunshot. To keep Treadstone buried forever, Deputy Director Ward had Conklin executed. One week later, Ward sits in front of a congressional committee. He announces that the Treadstone program has been shut down. In the same breath, he introduces its replacement, a new operation called Blackbriar. It takes Jason another week to find Marie. She is in Greece, running a small rental shop by the water. He walks in, and the 2 of them finally get the life he promised her. So the moral of the story is, if you wake up with amnesia and find 27 passports, maybe don't assume you're just having a rough Monday.